Alright, so I'm doing the last time, am I?
Yes.
Oh boy, okay.
Do you remember what happened last time?
Not really.
Do you
I vaguely
enough?
remember how it started, but the rest is just kind of faded out a little bit. And I think it's starting to come back to me now. Okay. Last time on Shadows of Gradiriel, our party was awoken early in the morning by the loud trumpeting of Kadruil having a complete and total psychological breakdown in his inn-room, and berserking, seemingly for no true reason, which we later, after subduing him, discerned was because of influence from afar messing with him while he was asleep. Concerned by this, the group decided to set out and look into the matter, but not before Locke discovered that there was something a bit more nuanced and serious about this individual, this young half-elven woman he had seen traveling around with his father in that vision Vindsvept showed him previously. He spoke with his mother about that and learned that said individual, whose name I am presently forgetting because I am getting drowsy for no good reason.
Vanya.
What?
Vanya,
thank you. I wanted to say Valana, but I was like, no, wait, that's not right.
No, that's Voyager.
That's a dead woman. That a lot of our problems is tied to a lot of our problems. But anyway, this Vanya woman is in fact Locke's half-sister, which came as a surprise to him. And after talking with his mother for a time and getting all the story from her about how Vanya came to be, regrouped with the others, and they made their way to the Misty Village with a few different objectives in mind. Objective 1, call upon the parental figures that resided there to make one last pass on Cad and make sure that there would be no further intrusions into his mind from afar to make him lash out at us. And 2, just kind of show Bjorn around the landscape he's going to be spending the foreseeable future in.
Mm-hmm.
Where we last left off, Locke learned some new information about Norvid, an individual he had some interest in, who he had briefly interacted with in a weird time-fucky vision in the past. And I forget everything else that happened because I was kind of focused on what Locke was up to.
Yeah. The only other thing was Bjorn had some, a little bit of trouble, as it were.
Oh, right, yes, that dipshit.
I met a fellow.
You did.
A fellow, yes, that is a word we can use to describe him. It's not really accurate, but sure.
He is a fellow. And then
He's a nuisance.
He hasn't proven himself as trouble yet.
You also met the butcher from Misty Village, a rather large female orc.
You got some grog off of her.
Indeed. You talked more with her son than you did with her because she doesn't talk very much. But other than that, yeah, that's about where we had left off.
Yep, that sounds right.
So you guys are going to be staying in Misty Village briefly until Kenneth, Oak's father figure, is to arrive, in which case you are going to discuss with him means to check in on Cad. However, Kenneth is currently at his small shrine temple, which is a couple days away from Misty Village proper. Granted, Leanne is perfectly content to call him here because the whole family has not been here in a while, and she is upset by this. So, excuses. Yay. Get here. Come. But, yeah. Though it did have to be, Oak to call Kelethir via sending spell because Leanne doesn't actually have sending. Herself. Much to her dismay. There might be people who were supposed to get her sending stones that never did because they knew that she wouldn't shut up. Anyway,
Yeah, it sounds about right.
So yeah, what is, aside from the obvious from Bjorn spending time with Trouble, what is everybody else's thoughts to do in Misty Village for a day or two?
Oh, well, Locke's pretty much accomplished everything he wants to do aside from getting Cat looked at, so he's mostly just going to hang out in the main temple building, I guess, and just hang there for the time being.
Yep. What sort of stories do we get out of Bjorn, or does Trouble get out of Bjorn, rather? Anything come to your head?
I mean, my head's a little fried, so there are Yetis up in Iban, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, plenty.
You were
Yeah.
You were potentially going to interact with some, but you decided not to, and then their village got attacked.
No. Bjorn will tell Trouble the story of a time he fought a Yeti on a mountaintop, which is perhaps a bit of an exaggeration. The truth is probably closer to he saw the Yeti and decided to go home. But Trouble's not here for that kind of story.
Exactly.
So instead, there will be So instead, there will be a description of how they fought their way up the mountainside, up to the peak, where they traded blows back and forth, until finally, covered in bloody bruises and gashes, Bjorn struck the finishing blow and sent the Yeti toppling right back down to the base of the mountain.
Let's see. Where is this? Okay, yeah. You neither have points in deception nor in performance, so just roll me a straight charisma roll, because that's what it would be.
Charisma's not bad.
No, it's not bad. Okay,
Rocking
so,
a 12.
yeah, not too bad. Alright. Trouble perhaps realizes that it might be a bit exaggerated, but what's a good story without a little bit of exaggeration?
Right? All the best stories have embellishments to them.
Exactly. Especially considering the kind of bard that Trouble is. Anyway. For sake of putting it out there to those who may know of it, Trouble is in fact a bard of satire.
Oh no.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Alright.
So, moving on. He enjoys your slightly embellished tale. And okay. You what is Silver up to in town? She just gonna chill in the temple area,
Yep,
the same as...
She's just chilling.
Alright. I'm going to assume that Cad will probably spend time with others, or perhaps traverse around to see where he can help people. Although...
find a nice, comfortable spot and write a journal or something.
I mean, you did just get new paper, so...
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Alright. So, after a couple days, you eventually have Kelethir arrive, and everyone sort of reconvenes inside of the inn, temple sort of area, and as before, Bjorn, you immediately put together, as Oak mentioned to you previously, that the high elf that you saw in Oak's dream vision thing previously was in fact Kelethir.
Alright.
Though there's a bit of an age thing there, because that was when Oak was younger, and so Kelethir would have been younger, but high elves age slowly, so He hasn't changed that much since that image of him.
Just like a little bit of gray around the temples.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, alright.
So, Kelethir arrives, and he immediately is... Oh, well then. You seem to have garnered quite the crew, Oak. Before there was only 3 of you, and now there are 6. So what can I do for you then? The Oak told me that you had something you wanted me to help you look into?
Yeah. Since no one else seems to be taking the conversation. Locke will gesture over to Cad. Our friend here, we have a feeling that something is trying to periodically infiltrate his mind from afar, making him act out in ways that he normally wouldn't. We were hoping that maybe you could look into it and see if there's anything you can discern, and if so, get rid of it.
I see. Are any of you capable of making use of Remove Curse, perhaps?
We've already done that, but we just wanted to be sure that it wasn't something deeper. That's why we brought him here. Just in case that wouldn't be sufficient, you know?
Kelethir's like, Well, I could perhaps speak to the Forest Father, my deity, do a commune, see if there's any knowledge that he can glean from such a thing, but without being able to see the events themselves, like when he does lose control, I'm not sure there's much that I can do.
Well, anything you can do would be appreciated. We really don't want to have to run the risk of looking over our shoulders every night when we're sleeping.
Question. Have you met Loxodon before like him?
Have what?
Have you met anyone like him before?
Loxodon, you mean?
Yes.
Of course.
Like- Okay. Have you seen them go into a rage?
Yes. Many
Like,
years
have you
ago,
seen
back when I spent more time in Caberton, but yes.
Yeah, and you've seen like little ghosty figures or whatever.
Yes. The celestial protectors, the ancestral protectors.
Hey, Cat, go into a rage. Here's the way. It's like, here, this is why he's different.
Kadruil sort of sinks down into whatever paperwork he was messing with.
No? Okay.
I would imagine he would need some sort of hostility to go into a rage for no reason. But
I can slap him.
Can we not? We know how destructive he can be.
We'll just go outside.
yes, this is Leanne. Yes, if you wish to do that, go outside, please.
Locke is going to look helplessly at everyone else in the party for like, this is a stupid plan. See, what did I tell you? I'm the responsible one. Jesus Christ.
And then Oak speaks up and I feel as though Cad would rather not want to burst out into an uncontrollable rage around his friends. He's done that twice already.
Yeah, so let's not do that.
Well, Kelethir's like, either way, I can do a commune and speak with Sylvanas briefly to see if he would be able to tell me anything. perhaps while I am setting up for this ritual, you can come up with the 3 questions I have to ask. I am to ask. As commune works, for those of you who would not know, which is most of you, 3 questions, yes or no, answers, and I may, depending on whether or not it fits within what my deity knows, I may get a inconclusive answer. But be thinking on those. And then Kenneth will start to get ready to do a commune ritual.
Alright.
Those who watch him do so notice that he makes use of small little incense candles, and he goes up into the loft of the inn and takes down the Morningstar Mall that was resting up there, the most decorated item in the entire place. And he also removes from his pack a basically is a woven quilt, but all the patterns and things seem to be more of that of leaves. So it's a quilt made of leaves.
Oh, nice.
So, before he goes into the trance of commune, he is going to need the questions. They can be supplied by, of course, anybody, but 3 yes or no questions.
Is Cad curse?
That's 1.
Okay, that's one. I feel like we should probably augment our future questions after that based on the answer we get from the first one. So if yes, do we presently have the means of removing said curse? If no, then I don't know, someone else?
It snowed.
Okay.
If no, what?
If no, I don't know what else to ask. Someone else suggestions?
Am I okay?
That's kind of what
You're gonna
question
be
one.
okay, Cad.
That's kind of what question 1 already is. So question 1 is Cad cursed?
And if yes, is there a way to remove it? If no,
But do we have is it within our current power to remove it?
right. And then if no, and this is Oak, perhaps is he a danger to us right now?
Or maybe is it possible for, if no, then is it possible for said curse to be placed back on him again?
We also should consider the idea that it's not a curse. And that
Well, that's why
question
we'll find
might
out.
be too specific.
That's why we will figure it out on the first question.
Right.
True. Okay.
So if it's not a curse, what do we ask then?
Was I just asleep?
I feel like at that point it would still be a matter of, is it an affliction that we have a means of getting rid of at our disposal?
Yeah. Either way, we need to know if we can deal with it with what we've got or if we need to go somewhere else.
Kadruil looks nervously at Silver. She's not going to keep me awake, right?
No.
Didn't Silver do that to that little gnome outside of Caberton once?
Yeah,
To
because
keep
he
him
was
from
in.
getting the spell slots back?
Yes.
Yeah, she did. And that was not a gnome, that was a halfling.
Halfling.
Oh, yeah. Halfling.
Was it the halfling that she ended up? Is it the halfling that we sent away?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it was the same
halfling that was
halfling. I'm pretty sure
decapitated?
it was the same halfling that Bjorn was kicking out of the bar when we met him.
Yep. It
Ah,
is. Alright, so is Cad cursed? If yes, I guess the question isn't very much augmented then. If is Cad cursed, and then do we have a means now to remove the affliction that is on him? And perhaps something concerning whether or not he's a threat to us now?
Indeed.
Or alternatively, we could think what other things besides the curse he could be afflicted with, and ask if it's one of those, because even if it's not, at least we can eliminate that from the list, so we're not looking for options for that thing.
Fair enough. Good call.
So what else besides a curse could be afflicting him?
Some manner of spell, of course, but narrowing that down.
Yeah, like,
more questions than we really have.
What type, like charm, person, and other one? That's from in the enchantment school of magic, right? So if not curse, we could ask, is he under some form of enchantment?
That we could. Alright. It's worth a shot, at least.
If nothing else, we can rule a few things out.
Indeed.
So
Wait, he knows everything, right? Or does he know everything?
Who?
Who's being asked?
Sylvanas, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
we're asking a god?
You are effectively
we-
asking a god, yes.
Yeah, commune, but the answers are going to be vague at best, and gods aren't omniscient in D&D, typically.
If no one has if everyone runs out of questions based on how the other questions are answered, how about is Kadruil my true name?
Oh?
I mean,
That's
Cad
fine.
could pop up
Why
with
would-
that question. No one else would have thought of that, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have no context for why that would be a question you would want to ask.
Well, I assume it could be a character-specific thing.
Yeah.
No.
But if it's not, it could also be sometimes in fantasy settings, like you have your given name, but you also have your true name. And if someone knows your true name, they basically have power over you.
Like Aragon, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Y'all made that a lot deeper than I meant it to be. It was supposed to be somewhat silly. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, fair enough.
Alright, so
So-
last bit. Getting our 3 questions here. Is Cad cursed? Do you have a means to remove whatever afflicts him? And perhaps third question, is Cad, and this is only if there's a no to the curse, is Cad enchanted in some way?
I think that about sums it up, yeah.
Everyone okay with those sets of questions?
Yep. That about sums it up to me, I think.
Works for me.
Alrighty. So, Kelethir will sit cross-legged. Actually, no, not cross-legged. He sort of kneels, like a monk sort of kneel. And he will have the maul, or Morning Star, basically resting in his hands as he speaks on top of the leaf quilt blanket with the incense all around him. Which, for those who are paying attention, the incense is arranged like a hexagon, as opposed to a circle. It's a hexagon. And he will briefly go into his trance to speak with his deity, having gotten your 3 questions. And after a moment or two, he will, the sort of incense candles will burn away, and his hexagon circle is completely gone, and he stands. Your friend Cad is not cursed, nor is
Alright.
he enchanted.
So we ruled that out.
Is he a demon?
That was not one of the questions.
I know.
No.
And then the question of can you remove what ails him, or do you have the power to remove what ails him, remove his affliction? The answer to that one was no. So it established that it is something.
It's just, we still don't know what.
You don't know what.
But we know what it's not.
Yes.
Right.
It's not an enchantment. Something psionic, maybe.
Has something to do with his bloodline, maybe.
Maybe.
Wait.
Huh?
Didn't... This is one of the, I guess Young would bring this up. Didn't Cad go off with the one Loxodon back in Iban? Did you learn anything then, Cad?
Sorry, when I went where?
When you went to speak with Tontu at the Loxodon temple. You had asked the party if you could go there, because she wanted you to go there, and then you disappeared for that one episode that everybody went and shopped. But you never told anybody what happened while you were there.
Right.
All we know is that we got fancy clothes.
Apparently, they thought they recognized me, that when I was little, someone by my name went missing.
Huh.
And they thought that I was originally from there and not Caberton.
Huh.
But I don't remember any of that.
Interesting.
Well, that would explain why you do look a lot different from the Loxodon in Caverton versus the ones in Iban. So, that would make sense.
To an extent, yeah.
And we didn't really establish a question of whether or not he's some kind of a threat to us. But, so I don't know if the commune really helped us.
It ruled out at least a few things. Didn't really give us a solution, but it at least made sure we won't waste our time on some things that are useless. So in
And-
that sense, it helped out.
And we did confirm that we don't presently have the means to deal with it ourselves, even if we did know what it is. So we're not. So
So we won't be wasting our time trying. We can focus our energies more on containment, essentially.
and yeah. So like we're not. The answer is not in sight, but we're closer to it than we were.
Small victories, huh?
I suppose that's
Sometimes
a good way
those
to
are the
look
only
at it.
victories you get.
Alright. So, another day or two in Misty Village, and then we make our way to... Where are we going? Raidell, I think?
I think so. Remind me what for?
Is it
Oh,
Raidell?
why
It's
we're
certainly
going to
Raidell.
Raidell?
Yeah, why are we going there again? Just
Oh,
refresh
we're
my memory.
going to... Oh, there's more shops there, and also our new friend has not been there. So I thought we
Right.
thought that would be a nice relaxation for a little bit.
Fair enough.
To be fair, the last time we were in Raidell, we kind of...
I stole a hat. Right.
You
So we should
stole
be
a hat.
fine.
Hey, Cat, show him the hat. I don't think he's seen it yet.
you say you stole a hat, and Gretchen, who's nearby, she's like, wait, you stole a hat? Did you steal his... Yes!
The
And she,
child
like,
approved.
She like jumps to try to high five Silver.
High five. She just like lowers her hand down for her to reach. Like high five.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Has Kadruil ever shown Bjorn the entertainment hat?
I think you did.
I don't
technically.
recall such a thing,
Well,
but
let's say no and just do it anyways.
I have been half passed out a couple nights.
Show him Shadowgrass.
Okay. So I transform into Shadow Grasp.
You get to
So-
you can describe Shadow Grasp for the rest of us?
Possibly. Hang on.
Because I don't think my brother knows what Shadow Grasp looks like.
No, not offhand.
He's this dude. Hang on.
Okay.
Dude. Sure, yeah, that's good enough.
I think I wrote it down. He is a very tall, very lithe, elvish rogue. He's in a dark cloak with a hood pulled up to sort of disguise his face. But you can sort of see if it's a well-lit area, you can see that he is elvish. And I'm basically tall and brooding and Batman, but an elf rogue.
Swifty.
The
And
entertainment
he can turn
hat,
it out of stuff too.
the entertainment hat, of course, being a hat of disguise.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. I've worked with one of those before. Nice.
And Gretchen's like immediately in awe and be like, "Oh yes, I love that hat."
I switch back to my normal form, and I just sort of bashfully say, "It's fun."
Yeah, it is, right? It is. I always used to take it out of his uncle's like storage area that he kept it in, and then he'd get mad at me. And anyway, it's good that you have it, not me, not him.
Didn't
Good.
Silver find like fake gems on him?
Mm-hmm. You did.
Okay, so there's something. I believe something's up with the mine there. Don't know.
He had fake gems. There's some shady dealings going on with her uncle.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's fucking Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I'd be more surprised if there wasn't.
So
There
yeah.
wasn't shady shit going on.
So, after showing off the entertainment hat, you guys sort of get ready to, unless you had anything else, you get ready to make your way out of town. And as you're starting to leave, everyone will see the orc butcher and her little boy and the dog, which the little boy is riding like a horse because he is small and dog is big. And they are making their way into the forest in the back of the village. Opposite direction from making their way out. Seems as though they're getting ready to go hunt, as it were. And
I wish them luck.
so, yeah, you make your way out. And the group will return to the main map. Hooray!
Woo!
Dun
Dragon.
dun dun.
And I never
Like
did
this
move the
map.
party token because I am not smart. Where is the party token?
Hey, you
Can I
said
have-
it, not me.
It's like
There.
right up in the North Mountain. No,
There we
that's
go.
something else.
And now you're making your way over here. Which is not that far away. About a day's travel or so.
Mhm.
And that's not counting the distance for the forest itself. But, yeah. Kelethir had arrived in about, we'll say noonish, when he had arrived into Misty Village. So if you guys leave, well, if you guys leave the following morning, you make your way to Raidell, and you're sort of getting into Raidell proper at nightfall, which is the best time to get there.
Yes, you get to see it all come to life.
And yeah, perception checks not needed Bjorn, your party senses are tingling.
Ooh. Bjorn is very pleased. He's reaching for his coin purse. He's feeling a thirst build. He's ready.
Yep. So
Parties.
everyone sort of makes their way to Raidell, which Raidell does have a gate lock and people standing guard, especially closer to the night. So knowing that you have come from this town several months ago and left in a not so happy state, how are you guys approaching town?
Well, we don't know if we're fully wanted. We just. Anything is silver.
One second. Locke will use Mask of Many Faces to cast Disguise Self.
Oh, nice.
Oh, is that new?
And I got that at my most recent level up.
Nice.
And,
Do you make yourself look like my brother?
Yep. Just tiny.
no.
Ooh, you disguise yourself as Kadruil, and Kadruil disguises himself as Locke.
No.
Aw.
I will disguise myself as... Let's make myself look like a human with a sort of a tied back red hair and a ponytail with the sort of a vaguely pompous sort of tilt to his eyebrows. Like, I want to look like the kind of guy who like carries himself with this air of dignity, but the moment you insult his mother, he goes into a hissy fit.
Oh.
Like,
Okay.
I want to kind of make myself look like that.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
and like just
So
kind
you're-
of slightly change up my attire to be less dirty and more, more presentable.
So you're going for kind of like a Prince John Men in Tights look?
I have no idea what that is in reference to. Or
Huh?
rather, I'm aware of Men in Tights, but I am not familiar with Prince John from Men in Tights.
Okay.
So I'm just going to Google that really quick.
He's
Do you look
different.
more classy or do you look more fun?
Well, this guy doesn't exactly look like fun. But yeah, kind of like that, yeah. Sharper angle to the eyebrows, though.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I can
And
picture
again,
that.
kind of red hair tied back into a ponytail.
Okay. Fair enough. Oak sort of sees you do that, and he's like, "That's new."
Yeah, I know, right? Cool, isn't it? Should probably change my voice to go with it, though, shouldn't I?
Higher pitch.
Higher pitch.
There you go.
And you need like a posh British accent.
What the hell is British? I don't know what this British is.
You know what
but
posh is?
I suppose I do know that. Yes. Yes.
Just
bring
imitate
me.
those elves from your village that are snotty to you. You'll be good.
They
I
would have.
say,
They would have had very.
Fuck
posh
you.
I mean,
There
they
you
would've-
go. Let's go.
They would have had very posh accents, to be fair.
Locke just suddenly looks very, very dissatisfied with his choices. This guy's like, God damn it. You had to ruin it, didn't you?
At least you're a human and not an elf.
Yes. You're making fun of them. Come on.
All right. So, what's everybody else doing? You were just going in.
I will disguise myself as Bjorn.
Yes.
All right.
Good.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I've been here before, so I should be fine.
Yeah, you've never been here. You're golden.
Last time we were here, I was Shadowgrasp, right? At the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Towards the end there, at
Yeah.
least.
So, sure.
All
Yep.
right.
Just I guess we go in.
So you guys go in. You're actually not really stopped at the gate in any way. It seems as though the guards they're either maybe a little tipsy, or they might be distracted with something else. So you can actually get by them pretty easily, oddly enough.
Nice.
And you will make your way into the town of Raidell, which I do have a map
Yay.
for. Boop. Raidell. Yay.
Are we all split up?
No. Those tokens there are the tokens that outline the districts and things like that. Because Raidell is a rather large place in a district sort of a way. But you are over here because this would be the entryway that you come in. So who is going to lead the charge in and around Raidell? We do have probably two people that would know Raidell pretty well. At the very least one that would know Raidell very well.
Certainly not Locke. Locke will not be taking the lead on any of this.
Aren't we just gonna go to the tavern that we were at the beginning? When we first came here?
Well, that's certainly not-
Sparkling Wishes.
Yeah.
Alright. And Yang will lead the way to the Sparkling Wishes. With a survival check at advantage because she knows this town. She was born here. Although her survival is garbage. Because of course it is. Wow, really? Okay. So, double 10s on advantage. Look at that. You, yeah. Take a bit of the scenic route. And as she realizes she's a little bit lost in trying to get to the Sparkling Wishes, she's like, well, we did want to show Bjorn the town, right?
I suppose that we did. Man, getting used to this choices. Sure, yes, let us show him around. I reckon there's still plenty of things I have yet to see myself. I'll just lean over towards Cat and say, I feel dirty.
Well, if this is the case, Bjorn is going to look around.
Yep.
He's going to kind of let his fun sense take over, and he's going to start walking towards where it feels the strongest.
Fun sense.
Alright.
Fun.
So, immediately, since Bjorn has never been here, you are met with the fact that this is probably one of the most heavily populated of different races that Bjorn has ever seen. There's literally everybody from every walk of life here. Everybody from big Goliaths, though there's no giants. There is big Goliaths and more Fae and Sprite individuals, which Bjorn's probably only seen those when looking in books of the Feywild. But yeah, there's actually sprites and fairies in this town that are wandering around. They seem to be helping to maintain the magic of the lampposts at night. Because medieval time and no electricity.
Yeah, this town really lights up at night. That's kind of its whole gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
So, give me a perception check, Bjorn. If you're sort of looking around trying to see if you can find the fun.
Alright, perception.
Do his fun senses give him advantage?
Yes, that's a good question.
There's a lot going on in this town. If it wasn't for the fact that there's a lot going on, then probably, but no, not really.
You're overwhelmed by the fun.
Yep.
There's so many things to choose from. Which one's the right one?
Exactly.
It's Bjorn is lost. He's like, I don't know what to do. It all looks great.
Yeah, you're like that one.
Coin. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe it.
You're like that one. It's like the scene in A Bug's Life where Flick was looking at all the lights and stuff of the city and things. Yeah. So eventually, Yang will have found her way to the Sparkling Wishes. Though there is a moment where she sort of stops briefly as she's looking down a different road, and then she just sort of shakes her head and is like, This is what we're here for. We're going to Sparkling Wishes. This is easier. I'll deal with this right now, not that.
What's up? What?
Oh, I was just thinking I might go and see an old friend, but the last time I did that, you guys started to leave without me. So I'll just hang out here.
Do you want to say hi?
I almost don't want to do that alone this time.
Oh, okay.
Sort of a buddy system if you want to go that way. Though to be fair, wasn't in the whole dream thing. Didn't you have my dream before? And you say you saw someone?
Yes. Yes.
Want to meet her in person? You can totally do that if you wanted to.
Sure.
Weird. But we'll worry about that later. For now, she's probably asleep anyway. For now, we are going to go to the Sparkling Wishes. And, yeah.
Grady.
You guys make your way into the Sparkling Wishes Inn. You immediately hit with music and the smell of fresh food and grog and alcohol and all sorts of other fun things. It seems as though the Sparkling Wishes also doubles as a performers show. They hold shows on like one side of the tavern and then the other side of the tavern for patrons who don't want to deal with all the loud music. And yeah.
So the scrubs, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the last time you guys were at Sparkling Wishes, the only people that went and listened to the music were Silver and Young.
Is there a dance floor?
In the place where all the music is, of course.
Well,
also, the bouncer, as it were, for the Sparkling Wishes is another Crimson Red Tiefling, although his red is a little bit deeper than Trouble's was. And his horns are longer. Trouble's horns are shorter, and this guy's horns are more like a ram's.
nice. You guys have met him before?
Yeah,
you passed by him before.
Okay.
And you also notice that, along with the fact that, varying different degrees of races and other such things, you, in and amongst the waiters and waitresses for the Sparkling Wishes, you cannot find anyone that's the same race.
Not one.
Nope. They're all different.
Back
Although, it seems to be the most popular one, the one that seems to be running around the most, is a black and white tabaxi.
Ah.
Which you guys met her before, too. Or no, not black and white. She is Calico. That's right.
Well,
Calico tabaxi.
Bjorn's first order of business is going to be to head for the bar and tell the bartender that he would like 3 shots of whiskey or an equivalent.
Simple enough. It is realm on the higher end for alcohol, because of course it is. I don't quite remember all the specifics that I did for price on that. But we will say you were getting 3 shots.
3 shots.
Alright, so we'll go up there for a gold apiece. So 3 gold will get you 3 shots.
Alright. Bjorn slams all 3 of them. He turns to the rest of the group and says, "Now you're all behind." And he heads for the dance floor.
I would normally take that as a challenge,
You should.
but I want
was-
to remember this experience.
You should document it.
Does anyone have any spare Kadruil, my friend? Do you happen to have any? Oh no, Shadow Grasp. Excuse me. You are described as Shadow Grasp, yes, or no?
Yes.
Shadow Grasp, my friend. Do you happen to have a spare booklet on hand you'd be willing to lend me for a short time? I have a natural environment study to conduct?
He doesn't answer. He just silently reaches up his sleeve and produces a book between his first and middle finger, and then just extends it out to you.
Thank you. I'll pay you back for this, and I will return this as soon as I am done. Now then, and I'll start following after Bjorn. Let's see just what this little beastie gets up to in its spare time, shall we?
Well, how many other people are on the dance floor?
On the dance floor, you got Sparkling Wishes does have quite the crowd going right now. It seems to be one of their more popular groups is performing at the moment, which seems to be largely of smaller races. It's 2 gnomes and 2 halflings, and which they are performing some sort of like medieval analog to like rock, and yeah, there's quite a few people on the dance floor at the current moment, but there's plenty enough space for you to get in there if you want to try your luck, as it were. What's Silver and Young doing? You gonna follow the other two, going to see how well Bjorn can dance?
No, just gonna leave it.
Leave him to embarrass himself, it's fine.
Yeah.
Embarrass myself, sir.
No.
So you're not even.
Bjorn is going in.
No, don't you sir me.
Bjorn is going in hard right now. He is showing everyone his moves.
I know, that's what's concerning me.
Oh,
I think they're pretty good moves myself.
This is also why Locke is documenting it. Perfect blackmail material for later.
You kidding? I'm doing the robot perfectly right now.
I feel like this is the part where the Dungeon Master should call on you to make a performance check.
He did.
Look in the chat,
He did.
fool.
Oh, he did? I missed that because I'm also trying to paint at the same time.
I didn't call it. He already made it at an 18.
Ah.
You've
Well-
been missing all of our peanut gallery.
Wait until the drinks begin.
All right. So
Or rather,
Bjorn's-
intensify.
So Bjorn's got him a good Warforged dance going. Yeah. Especially considering your attire, you do immediately garner a bit of a crowd going. Other ones dancing alongside you. The one of the performers for the band that's up top, one like a little halfling male, will disappear from on stage and teleport down to where you are, which you are immediately reminded of the blinklings that you had encountered in a bond, but this is just a halfling, not a blinkling. And he like, now that's what I'm talking about. This guy knows how to do it. Drinks for the furry one. And he
I now have jazz music playing.
Yep. So, yeah, it's Bjorn does a sizable gets him a sizable crowd going, and you get a lot of people that give you drinks without you really having to pay, at least at first. So,
Bjorn is gonna take that for all it's worth.
give me a 2 con saves.
2 con saves. Out of curiosity, what am I drinking?
You are going to be drinking
Spread.
pretty much
perhaps?
pretty much the equivalent to what you had said. Something about as strong as whiskey. Although you might be getting a drink in a minute that's a little bit better, depending on how well you succeed on your con saves.
Now, the first one wasn't great, but it wasn't awful. That one I'm okay with. 10 and a 19.
Alright. So you're doing fairly well. And then there is a Goliath that's sort of seeing you dancing around, female Goliath, and she's like, yeah, you look like you can handle it. And she sort of calls a waiter over and whispers at something, and you have yourself a new drink. Do you wish to investigate it, or are you just going to drink it?
I will give it a quick look. I'm not going to in-depth examine it, but I will look to see like what color it is.
It's clear.
Oh, good. Well, David knows that this is a trap, but Bjorn knows. But Bjorn knows that it's poor etiquette to turn down a drink that a lady has offered. So
before you
down-
David knows this is a trap.
before you make your con save for this drink, give me a quick no disadvantage or anything because you're not drunk entirely yet. Give me a perception check.
Perception. We can do.
Okay, never mind.
Not
Con
great.
save.
That is as bad as I could possibly have rolled it.
It stings your nose so good that you think you're an elephant with super elephant smelling for a moment.
Yeah.
Smells good.
Give me a con save, sir.
Here it comes. Fingers crossed. It's either going to be awesome or funny.
Or both.
Could
It's a
be
little
close.
funny
There's
'cause
potential. Ooh.
Yeah,
12.
With a 12, you're pretty gone. Although, admittedly,
Am I still dancing?
of course, is it as good as it was
Yes,
a second
good.
ago? Maybe not, but it might
But
be
it
better.
doesn't
for all we
matter.
know.
I'm looser now.
However, you are briefly confused for a moment as Bjorn realizes the drink that he drank tastes like water. But oh, listen, not water.
But once he feels it hit,
Oh yeah.
like. Now, Bjorn, I'm assuming he's feeling pretty messed up now.
Oh yeah. He's got there.
So, what Bjorn's going to do is he's going to be like, that was some good shit. So he goes to the bar, and he's going to order 2 more shots of that, one for himself, and one for the Goliath.
Alrighty.
Party with me.
Water here is the water here is as it were is a hefty 3 gold per shot. She got you the first one
Alright.
for free. If you're wanting to buy one for her and one for you, that's 6.
Alright, done deal.
Oh, man.
Think of how many donuts that would be.
Alright. So
Fuck, I got like 100 donuts for 1 gold?
something like that. Not quite as much. Not quite like that, but something close to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Silver, what are you doing right now? You're just on the other side where not all the action is. What's Silver up to?
Is there anything I want to do in this town? See if there's anything I want to do in this town.
Well, we got in pretty easily. And I don't know what's going on with those over there. With the drinks, but I'm kind of surprised you didn't.
They're having fun.
Just gonna let Bjorn do his thing over there?
Yep.
And Locke is still just taking furious notes.
Wintergrasp is just standing, like, wherever up against a wall or whatever, and you need at least a perception check of 25 to realize that he's subtly bobbing his head to the music.
Alright. Fair enough. Alright, so Bjorn,
Oh,
we'll go back to you then.
wait.
Oh, what you
Okay.
got?
Okay.
What you got, Sam?
So, is Bjorn, like, almost drunk?
Bjorn is
I think
well
we
on his
passed.
Bjorn is well on his way to very drunk at this point.
Okay, Silver's gonna wait until he's like very drunk, but not enough to like pass out, and just wait and watch.
I mean,
Okay.
after a brief moment of him going into the other side to where all the stage show and stuff is, because Bjorn went to the music and the dance floor. If you wanted to actually see Bjorn drunk, you're gonna have to go to the dance floor where everybody else is.
Yeah, sure, why not?
That's fine. Young will follow. Everyone is in there now, more or less. Though Oak is, with Shadowgrass being a bit of a wallflower. Though Oak will smirk because perception of 25. To notice that your head's bobbing. That's not going to be hard for him. Let me double check this. Because I believe you said 25 for your perception thing.
Yeah, 25, DC 25 to notice that I'm bobbing my head to the music.
Passive perception 27. Yeah,
Ooh.
doesn't even have to roll.
Good lord.
Yay for having characters that can make the party not surprised. Anyway, Oak will just sort of smile at that. He'll just listen and sort of tap his foot to the music as well. Not a bad band. So yeah, Silver has made her way back to where Bjorn is, and she sees that he seems from a distance pretty well sloshed and is currently dancing. Ooh. Silver,
Mm.
you can either do... You see that Bjorn is dancing with a female Goliath. Give me a perception check. And Young's gonna do it too.
17.
Young's gonna do it too because she followed you. 5. Young doesn't see it. Silver, you notice that the female Goliath that Bjorn is dancing with has a bear tattoo on her left shoulder.
Do I recognize this Goliath?
You do. Does Sam?
Where do I recognize her from?
Give me a wisdom check since Sam doesn't remember. We'll see if Silver does. Otherwise, it's a Silver
It's
just
it's
gonna...
either the Goliath that tried to flirt with Cad, or it was the Goliath that was being the bodyguard to the prancing Tom. There's like two.
Mm-hmm.
Not just a straight wisdom.
Yeah, do a straight wisdom roll.
Oh,
There you go.
21.
So yeah, Silver in her time with, in the Idle Tomcat, which is the brothel, since you got so high on that wisdom, I'm gonna say that Silver not only remembers that this is the bouncer for the the guard for the Idle Tomcat, but you also remember the name that was given to you for that bouncer.
Who?
She calls herself Mudslide.
Mudslide! Wait, what is Mudslide doing here? Is it a different day off?
You don't know. But yeah,
Silver's gonna make her way over.
You come in to see what Bjorn is up to, and you see him dancing with Mudslide.
And doing shots.
Oh yeah, and doing shots.
Silver's gonna make her way to Mudslide. Can Silver tell how enamored Mudslide is?
Insight?
That's what I would have suggested.
Yeah, insight.
15.
She might not necessarily be quite as drunk as Bjorn, but she's getting there.
Is there any way I can catch her attention away from Bjorn for 1 minute?
Bjorn, roll me a performance. We'll say you're pretty
I
well
gotta keep
sloshed. You're pretty sloshed. Your balance is a little off. Disadvantage.
Oh. That's sad. Alright, guys. You can't fail me today. I mean, you can. So that's a 7.
So 7. You're dancing away. You're having a good time. And there's a moment.
Attempt the worm the minute it just flop on the ground like a dead fish.
No. You just don't keep all of Mudslide's attention as you could have. And then Mudslide sort of sees Silver off to the side, and she's just like, she sort of taps your shoulder, and she's, "I'll be right back, boy." And she
I'll be waiting.
walks up to Silver. Long
Is it
time
your
no
day
see.
off?
What's up?
Yeah, is it your day off?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that? Okay.
What's up?
Can you help me with something?
Depends on what it is. I was having fun over there. I don't know
Yeah,
who that guy is, but he's not a bad dancer.
His name is Bjorn. He's part of my adventuring party right now.
Really?
Yes. So, a couple of things. Can you help me get him to eat something?
What?
Excuse my out of character self.
There's something that I have in my bag of clothing here that
Oh God.
I want him to eat.
Do
And
it.
Then possibly try to prank him and get him sloshed enough that he don't remember for the rest of the night and wake up somewhere totally random.
Do it.
Mudslide sort of looks back towards Bjorn as you say that, and she's like, depending on what you have in mind, I can most definitely make sure he wakes up somewhere else.
Okay, that's fine. Just after. So I have a fish here.
All right, those things.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a horrible human being.
I have a fish here, and I need help convincing him to eat it.
Hmm.
And then we'll take him outside. Let him have fun with it, and then take him elsewhere. Okay? Does that sound like a plan? I'll give you 10 gold pieces if you help me.
What's the significance of the... Wait, 10 gold pieces?
Yes. 10 gold pieces to help me get him to eat this fish for a good time. And then take him elsewhere and wake up, like, with no recollection of what happened last night. Or tonight.
Right. Roll a persuasion check at advantage.
23.
That was a little slow to show up on the screen. She's like, I don't really know the significance of the fish, but okay, sure, why not?
It's a magic fish. You'll see it once we get him outside.
Alright then.
Okay.
I'm definitely down to do that. As long as I can, yeah, I'm definitely down to do that. And she will,
What? Can what?
don't worry about that.
Okay.
And you will, Bjorn, momentarily, Mudslide will return to you as you're sort of dancing
Silver.
away. You sort of tumble backward in one spin, and she just catches you. She is ever so slightly bigger than you, being a Goliath.
Naturally.
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back. Sort of right myself. We ready for another round?
Silver tagged along.
Silver's here too. Alright. Silver, have you met my new best friend? We're having a wonderful time. You should join us.
I can see that. You know, I have something here that will make it even more vivid. All the
Vivid,
colors
you
and stuff
say?
vivid. Yes, vivid.
Some sort of drink.
It's a food.
I do like food.
Are you hungry?
Bjorn considers this, and he's drunk, so it really doesn't matter if he's hungry. He wants to eat things.
Fair enough.
I don't. My mind does not need that. Okay. Wow. Okay. So Silver's going to be like.
To be fair, Mudslide's mind doesn't need that either. Anyway.
Wow.
So,
And then suddenly Bjorn was an anime girl.
not quite. Anyway,
Silver's gonna pull out the
Bjorn
pen.
approves.
Silver's
Alright.
be like, okay, but we gotta go outside because, okay, you need the fresh air. It helps make it affect faster.
Okay.
So you can see all the pretty lights. Okay,
All right.
let's go outside.
Bjorn wants to see where this is going.
alright.
So the three of us head out.
Three of you head out. Does the rest of the party follow this ensemble?
Considering that's one of my trippy fish, and I am curious, yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alright.
Locke, you have to follow because you're explicitly trying to take notes on me.
Yeah, I do, don't I?
And then he took a trippy fish, and then he ate it.
Yeah,
Um,
once outside, Silver's gonna present him with the trippy fish and
Silver.
be like, "Here's the
Silver.
yes."
Give me a perception check.
Oh, okay. 20.
20. As you're wandering outside to get set up for this whole trippy fish thing, you do notice Locke, though he is in his disguise he was using with his new ability. You see him, and he has a notepad and paper, and seems to be taking notes of some kind.
It just kind of like motions to follow, like, come on.
Locke is following with increasing interest and concern in equal measure.
Alright. So, Mudslide sort of leads the way a little bit off to the side from the tavern and into a smaller alley away from the crowds a little bit, and you got your whole, well, not your whole party there. Oak is actually not there. He's back in the tavern being a stick in the mud.
Sad.
But
Once outside,
he
Silver
sees where this is going and sees how this is going down and just is like, yeah, no, and goes back into the tavern.
Okay. Now
So
Bjorn.
He'd take a hard pass on that one. Yeah. Can't blame
pretty
him.
much.
Now Bjorn. It's gonna look weird, but trust me. It's delicious.
Mhm.
Something that's good for you. And it's super, super, super fun.
And you said it's going to make the night more fun.
Yes, it is. You like fun,
All
right?
Oh, I would die without it.
Okay. She pulls out a turkey fish and hands it to him.
Alrighty.
Now, Bjorn looks at it and he considers it. Says, "Oh, this is going to make the night more fun. We should
Yeah.
split it.
Oh,
We should share it.
Okay.
Equal shares for all three."
Oh, 3.
All three, huh? Why not?
Yes.
And
At that point, Silver's like gonna be like,
I did not think this plan through.
okay, yeah.
so
That's
so
fine.
Bjorn, you see Mudslide. She just, since it is, trippy, the fish is about like a large bass or a trout.
Mhm.
And she is just going to with her bare hands just rip it in half.
Oh shit.
Bravo to the little golf club.
Now,
Bjorn is very impressed.
this was your friend's idea. Splitting in halves is easy with just bare hands, not threes, though.
I can use my sword. It's very sharp.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no. No. Here. Silver's gonna go and like take half of what would be mudslides and be like, there, it's all equal. Let's eat and
Alright,
have fun.
Alright.
Enough for Bjorn.
so,
On
with that,
3.
You're already
Yes.
sloshed. Make me a Constitution save at disadvantage.
Alright.
Silver, you can do a Constitution save as well. Though yours is just straight.
19.
18 for Mudslide.
11 for Bjorn.
Alright, so... What... Let's see... I think... I'm trying to recall what the explicit specifics were on the trip. On how I worded it. I think I said that it was an insecurities thing, like a fear thing, mostly.
Like
Yes.
paranoia and stuff. Like you start seeing things.
That you're
Right.
afraid of, yeah.
Yeah. So, what is a big fear for Bjorn?
Big fear of Bjorn. We're going for serious fear, silly fear, or both?
I mean, as long as it's a strong enough fear to count as a fear, it could be a more childish one if you want to look at it that way.
Bjorn is scared of 3 things. He's scared of mice.
Mice?
He's scared of zombies. And he is scared of being underwater.
Like,
Mice, zombies, and underwater.
Yep.
Interesting. This is why he's a Viking and not a sailor. Wait.
That's why he stays on the boat
Right.
until he gets
So-
going.
So your trifecta would be undead sea mice.
barnacles.
Bjorn will slit his throat if ever he sees that coming at him. He's not dealing with it.
Alright.
I need to draw this now, but not right now.
So, Bjorn, you sort of eat the trippy fish, as it were. Very tasty, as the two of them or as Silver had mentioned. It tastes very good. And then you start to hear what sounds like around you the telltale moans of zombies.
Freeze. And I look around. A cold sweat
Silver's
beginning
gonna
to
sit there and,
form.
like, look around too.
You're surrounded not by zombies, but by mice, and you're under the ocean, and everyone's a zombie.
You know. So
And just like
Truths
that, we
don't have to
discovered
make
hell.
sense.
So yeah, you look around, you see, you sort of see them coming out of the back alleys, and things, so coming out of the shadows as if they found the just right specific places of the darkness of the light zone around here, and you find yourself and your group of 3 here, the 2 ladies that you are with. Though your rest of your party is a ways off, you don't notice them, they're sort of a ways off. The 2 ladies in your immediate vicinity are about to be, you and the 2 ladies in your vicinity are about to be surrounded by mice, by zombies, not mice, zombies.
Well,
And
Bjorn
it's
is
worth.
okay.
If Bjorn goes to grab his weapon,
He does.
he doesn't find it.
Bjorn.
Does he find someone else's weapon?
Does he have his backup weapon? Does he have like a dagger or anything?
You start to look over your person, and you don't even have your armor.
I look around to see if there's anything I can use as a weapon.
How far could he throw Shadow Grasp?
He's got a grasp even there.
That
Not
depends.
Technically
Running
not
starter
close
now.
I mean, you're looking for a weapon in the hands of a master. Anything is a weapon.
There
true.
is a maybe perhaps a trash can, broom, something in your immediate vicinity.
Trash can.
Would
It
you
deals
say that,
one
would you
to
say
filth.
that Bjorn is scared?
He is scared. Does he have an option of retreat? Like, is there a way he can escape?
He could totally run if he wanted to. Leaves the girls behind.
No, that's not his style.
Silver, for
Go
your
on.
sake, Bjorn is immediately freezing and is now shaking, and Mudslide sort of looks at you and is like, the fish was good, but what's wrong with him? All of a sudden he's not acting like he's drunk.
It's a trippy fish. He's probably seeing things.
Trippy fish.
That's what we call it. I don't know the name of it. It's a fish that makes you see things. Evolutionary.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay.
So
What is
Bjorn's.
Locke doing?
Alright,
Locke is
here's
no longer
here's-
taking notes. He's just kind of watching and thinking, shit, am I going to have to jump in? I might have to jump in. Ah, shit.
So here's what Bjorn's going to do. He's going to locate the nearest defensible position. He's going to point to it while looking at Silver and Mudslide. He's going to say, "Follow me. We can hold them there." And then he's going to grab the trash can and run for it. And to defend that spot.
Alright.
Refresh my memory. How long was Locke like this when he had the trippy fish?
He actually, when you guys were initially introduced to the trippy fish, the only people who were affected by it was the NPC party members.
Yeah, when
How long?
young and
And it was
Like-
about an hour, if I recall correctly.
Oh,
no,
God.
it would have been an
Well, not
hour.
actually
I thought
that long.
it was-
It felt
thought it
like
was-
an hour to those who were suffering it, but it was actually probably closer to like 10 minutes.
Okay.
100 rounds. Let's go.
I guess follow him to the trash can.
I've taken the trash can with him to the defensible spot.
Oh, okay.
Mudslide's like, what,
On that note,
what is going on?
if I'm sorry, finish what you're saying.
Mudslide's like, what is going on?
The zombies, they're after us. And I'm gonna start like reaching into the garbage can, and if I can find any heavy things in the garbage can, I'm gonna grab them and throw them behind us to slow the pursuit.
The zombies. They're after us.
Make for me, I guess a ranged attack roll. Actually, no, don't even bother. Bjorn would not realize he's not making a ranged attack roll, but you're not, so that's fine. So you just toss, you dig into the trash can, you find something heavy. Actually, you do. You do find something heavy, and almost at first when you grab it, you like, why is there something heavy and metal in the trash can? And then you just throw it, and then da-doom, 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 da-doom. You have just thrown a dented frying pan.
Nice.
Which, if you're watching when you throw it, these zombies You throw it right at the zombie, which it passes through. Because the zombie's not actually there.
Oh god, the zombies are ghosts!
Ghost zombies.
From the
That's
bottom of the
worse.
ocean that are also mice.
They're also mice. Yeah. They're crawling all up the legs and shit.
The
Right.
frying pan boomerangs back and becomes another one.
Oh no.
So yeah,
Because
you
why not?
toss it and it passes right through them, and you're like backing away. You're sort of getting a defensive stance and keeping your distance from the ghost zombie that I'm assuming.
Alright. Is there like an alleyway nearby?
Plenty of them.
Alright. Are there more garbage cans down this alleyway?
Yep.
Alright. I will continue to lead Silver Mudslide into the alleyway and I will shout, "Follow my lead!" And I will dump the garbage out of my bin and I'm gonna solid snake this bitch. I'm hiding under that bitch. I'm gonna wait for the zombies to pass.
Silver's gonna look at a Mudslide and be like, I didn't expect this to happen.
What
you
did
want
you
your turn to
expect
go
to
now?
happen?
Locke's just like, I'm gonna need a bigger book.
No, Locke's like, he turns to Shadow Girl's like, here, and passes it back. I think I'm done. And then he's going to go to where things are going down. It's like, oh, you gave him the fuck you fish.
Locke is standing in the middle of the zombies. Bjorn.
Bjorn is fully hidden under that garbage can right now. So does he even notice?
No.
Wait, can he even fit in the garbage can?
He's
Roll
in the
it.
garbage-
I'm just like crouching. You can see me from the knees down, just shivering there.
Well, if you can't see the zombies, the zombie mice from under the ocean can't see you.
This is correct. That's how I survived as a child.
Silver's gonna sit there and pay Mudslide the 10 gold that she said she
Locke is going to look at Mudslide, and let me just give it just a second here.
Which you haven't met before.
I have not. That's not going to stop me from let me see here.
Oh no! Who put the Cthulhu mouse here?
It's not going to stop me from giving her some gold myself. However much I'm going to give her 6. Yeah, 6. I'm going to give her 6 gold for any collateral.
Collateral.
This is turning
Do you
into a really good night for Mudslide.
Good. Then I'm going to look at Silver. Do you have any idea what he's seeing? Has he given any indication?
Zombies, apparently.
Right. Okay. I will mask of many faces and make myself look like a zombie. And then I'm going to just go up to the trash can that he's quivering under and just start scratching on it with my nails.
Well, there's only one
Silver's
thing
trying
for
not
Bjorn to
lose
do.
it.
Bjorn has been discovered, so he does the only thing he can do. He pops out from under the trash can and he swings for all he's worth.
You do get a surprise round. Roll at advantage.
Oh no, Locke was absolutely expecting that this was going to be the outcome, but he's just going to take it anyway.
He's like, it will be worth the story.
Oh yeah,
Roll
it's
an
like, you know,
roll an
a
attack.
bruise. This is going to be great anyway.
But keep in mind that your zombie foe is actually your friend, so he does get your aura, right?
I don't have an unarmed attack.
He gets my aura. That
It's
seems
not.
worth-
It's not
Not
a.
worth
Just roll your attack roll with your sword. It's fine.
Okay.
It's like just your strength modifier is what you would use as your attack bonus and damage bonus.
Yeah. Okay.
12. No,
Um,
you missed me.
Yeah, you missed. You swing and you miss.
All right.
Whoosh. I duck my
This is
head
a
to the
bad-
side.
Silver is
But
trying
wait.
not to lose it.
At my level, I have 2 attacks.
You did.
Oh boy.
So here comes the other fist from the other direction.
The first swing was a feint to throw him off
Oh
guard.
no!
Alright, yeah. So, what's your strength modifier?
Let's see, that would be a 4.
4 damage to you. 4 damage to Locke.
I'm down to 51. And in response to this, I would like to limply hug him.
Okay.
Bjorn genuinely does not know how to respond at this point, so he's just like, just standing there, kind of like convulsing a little bit.
And then Locke will say, I will use Awakened Mind, actually. Thank you, Cad. I will use Awakened Mind and say, the ground is getting cold. Come sleep with us. And just give like this gentle tug.
Silver's losing it at this point.
Bjorn would like to make a strength check to knock this fool prone, and supposing that succeeds, run like hell.
Okay.
Do me a favor, Bjorn.
Yes.
Technically, those attack rolls would have been at disadvantage because you're still drunk, but that's fine.
Okay.
Your strength check to pull away would also be at disadvantage because you're drunk. But you're going to roll it straight because somebody's helping you. Roll strength check.
Here it comes.
Do I have to roll too?
If you want to try to keep a hold of him as a zombie.
I mean, I'm not going to succeed unless I get a natural 20. Which I didn't.
Don't think you did.
That's a 4 total, so
You wouldn't have
yep,
succeeded.
I'm on my ass.
You wouldn't have succeeded even if you had a natural 20. Because natural 20s don't help with skill checks. Your natural 20 with your -2 in strength, your natural 20 would have been an 18. So,
Yeah, alright.
yeah, you pull away from the zombie, and you realize that the reason you could do so effectively was sort of in the what is it? What's that grip called when you have a person by their wrists instead of their hands? Like a handshake, but you're grabbing wrists.
Oh, like
A wrist shake.
The what?
Beastmaster shake?
Yeah, that's one of the terms for it, but I know there's something else for it. But it's like the Beastmaster shake. Yeah. Mudslide's got a hold of your wrist, and she pulls you away from the zombie. And
Locke will just let out this low wail, mournful sound as Bjorn's being led away and continue in Awakened Mind. The ground is cold and we are lonely.
Now all you got to do is taunt him. Just be like, "You're no fun."
No. We're
Oh,
trying
that's
to
rude.
we're trying to traumatize the man.
so, Silver, you are, you said you're just
She's
Laughing.
laughing.
like full on rolling on the ground laughing, or just
She's
leaning
not
up
rolling on the
against,
ground. She's just like, she's actually letting out a laugh. Instead of
like
trying to
laughing and
hold it
leaning
in.
against the wall kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Alright. There was a great deal of laughter from Mudslide there for a bit. And then she's just like, alright, I'm
Okay, what do you
done
need?
with this. And she grabs Bjorn and she pulls him away from all of you. Are you guys going to pursue?
Oh, okay.
And once they're out of sight, Locke will drop his thing and go back to being his pompous little disguise and regroup with Silver. I think that went rather well.
Yes. I hope nothing gets too bad. He should be getting it over it soon.
Oh yeah, soon. That's why I decided to just go balls to the walls on it. Do you think I
By
went
the
too
way-
far?
By the way, you two, are you going to watch them leave?
Yeah.
Perception check.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Perception. 5.
13.
Yeah, Locke doesn't see it, but Silver does, because it's not that hard to not see. Mudslide will actually, as she's pulling away, and Bjorn is continuing to, like, mumble and be scared and all this and that and the other, she will actually pick him up.
Bjorn is initially startled by this, but decides that he's okay with it because it's his good friend.
Like we're talking, what is it, bridal style?
Over the shoulder?
No,
Like
bridal
a
style.
a fireman
Over the
carry, or
threshold carry?
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Oh man!
And yeah, you
Oh
guys,
man!
the two of them will go off into the some of the other alleys, and they are out of sight for you two. And then after a moment, Yong sort of comes up as Silver is probably still laughing or just getting over her laughs with Locke, and she's like, "Well, that was interesting.
Yes.
Any particular reason you decided to do that?"
I mean, I want to know too.
He
I'm
was
not
the only
complaining,
one
but I want to
out-
know.
He was the only one out of the party that didn't eat the trippy fish. So, I guess...
It's an initiation rite of our party.
An initiation rite that we can never do again, because that was the last one, wasn't it?
No,
Nope,
we have
there's one more.
Oh. Huh.
An initiation rite that I would Yong speaks of an initiation rite that I would rather not remember. Thanks.
Well, hopefully he won't have to. We made sure
And,
he got him
and besides, when we ate the trippy fish the first time, the only ones who really had problems with it was me and Oak. So if it really is an initiation rite, you guys still have to deal with it.
No, we passed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fine. Fair enough.
That was not in character.
Okay, maybe in the future, if we ever come across this trippy fish again,
Young,
maybe we can try again.
And then Young sort of looks back at where they ran off, and she's like, "Also, was that who I think it was?"
That was Rockslide, the bouncer to the brothel that you took me to.
Right. Okay.
Apparently, like, somewhat her day off?
Somewhat her day off. How's that work?
I don't know. I tried to find out more, but she wouldn't open up.
I mean, some people just don't talk about things that are going on. Although she doesn't
Good
seem like
point.
she's upset, at least not now.
No. I wonder where he's going to wake up at.
No idea.
Running off with Mudslide? No idea.
Well,
Here's
we
a
have a
weird
few
thought.
places to check in the morning.
Here's an odd thought. What if, and just hear me out, what if she's taking him to the brothel?
That's why I said a few places to check in the morning. We can check in the morning if he's there. If not, we
I
can
mean,
check
I
her
could
house.
see it as like, he's panicking, he's seeing zombies, like, okay, let's take the drunk guy off to unwind.
Yeah. Well, I did ask her to take him somewhere to wake up randomly. I didn't specify where.
Missed opportunity, but, well,
Well, I don't know. She probably might have got a gist, or maybe not, or...
we'll find out, I'm
Now,
sure.
Yeah.
What do we
Silver
want to
was-
do now?
Silver was the only one that saw how she picked him up.
Oh, yeah. So it's like... either brothel, maybe her house, don't know. Or back alley somewhere. Who knows?
Anyway, do we want to go back into the Sparkling Wishes?
Yes, please.
Yes.
I want a snack.
Do you want to
Snack-
know?
I had a different train of thought going there, and I just kind of lost it.
Yeah, it was a little strange.
You're not here. Shut up.
I'm here in spirit.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, fair enough. So, moving on from that, the group reconvenes with everybody but Bjorn, reconvenes with Oak at the Sparkling Wishes. You guys purchase your rooms there and other such things. And unless anybody has anything else, you did come to Raidell in the middle of the night, so you don't have much else to do unless you're, just gonna lay down and get rest or want to speak to anyone in the Sparkling Wishes.
Actually just had a thought. I'm not going to do my little personal routine to try and summon Vindsvekt's attention. Instead, I'm just going to open his book and see if anything new has appeared in it.
Interesting.
Because I know that bits of it become more legible to me over time, right?
That's true. So you go to open up Vindsvept's book, and you still know what the writing says due to the nature of the book, but it's like not on all the pages, only on some of them. It's like the ink for the pages is a little smeared, or as if like the papers on it, the paper that it was written on is not dry for some reason, although it always was before. So it's a little bit harder to read, but because you have read it before, you know what it says. It's like when you have a favorite book or something like that and it suddenly gets wet. It's harder to read, but you still know what it says. Other than that, your book's the same.
Huh, that's concerning. I'm going to look very carefully and see if anything in it has changed, or if there's anything hidden in the smears.
Roll investigation.
Okay. 17.
Best as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be any other hidden meaning in the smears, but as you're sort of investigating and looking through it, the ink almost comes off on your hands, your fingers a little bit, and you sort of, taking a more scientific-ish approach with the high roll, you sort of sniff at the ink. It doesn't smell like ink. There's a almost metallic smell to it. Somewhere between...
Coppery?
Yeah, a little coppery.
Locke is going to get ballsy, and he's going to touch the tip of his tongue to it. Does it taste like blood? I'm pretty sure I know what that tastes like. I've had it in my mouth enough times because I've gotten beaten up so much.
It doesn't taste exactly like blood, but it does taste a little bit like blood. Yeah.
So like blood mixed in.
Yeah, blood and something else. And not just the something else that would be like ink, which is what it technically looks like at the time. It's there's a mix of tastes going on there a little bit. A little bit of it's blood, a little bit of it's ink, because that's actually what it is technically. And then there's something else that you're just not able to quite put your finger on.
Long shot, but
Locke discovers trippy ink.
Long shot. I'm going to cast Detect Magic on the book and see if anything about its magic aura has changed, or if anything's been added to it since last time I really looked at it.
Okay.
Like, does anything look out of place with it?
Roll me Arcana.
Okay. I actually have a pretty good Arcana stat.
You do.
But I didn't roll very good. 11.
You use Detect Magic, The aura it gives off does match Vindsvept, match the magic that you come to know and understand. Although the aura is sort of like waning a little bit, like flickering. It's like the power to it's sort of not weakening per se, but wavering.
Like it's getting more distant?
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. It's like there's
there's
interference.
Like you're talking, Go on.
Like there's interference, I would say.
Yeah, I was about to get to something like that. So, okay, that's very concerning. Very, very concerning. Well, supposedly, as I understand it, refresh my memory. Is it supposed to be a thing that Vindsvept gets stronger by people using his magic, or is that not how that works? Because I know he wants people to use his magic without necessarily advertising where they got it from.
Yeah, his whole thing is he wants to make powerful followers. That doesn't necessarily mean that he needs everyone to know that he's around. He sort of wants to be
He wants to be more low key.
Yeah, he wants to be more like what do you call it? A hidden benefactor to a lot of powerful people.
We've acquired rooms for the night, right?
Yep.
Okay.
They're like
then while Locke...
they're probably they're sort of up there, so they're like 3 gold apiece. But yeah.
All right. In that case, I'm going to remember the time that Vindsvept gave me the invisibility spell, which we actually had visualized in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And while Locke is in the room, ideally alone, he will sit cross-legged on his bed and he will cast invisibility on himself once, hold it for a few minutes, let it go, and then expend his last remaining spell slot to cast it again. And then while he has that active, that he'll just try to hold it as long as he can while going to sleep, and just hold it as he goes to bed.
Interesting.
The intent being that, I mean, I might be misremembering, but if Vindsvept gets any power whatsoever from his followers using his magic, Locke is trying to give him a bit of a helping hand against whatever it was that was causing him trouble.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like returning the favor a little. Like, you've helped me out of a lot of tough shit. Let me give you a hand.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. All right.
And that will be how Locke closes out the day.
Anyone else doing anything in the night, or are they just going to bed?
Nope, just going to bed.
I mean, we should probably figure out what the fuck's happening with Bjorn, shouldn't we?
Oh yeah, we're getting there. That's why I was making sure everyone else was going to bed without any problems.
Bed.
Oh boy.
So Bjorn,
Yes.
you
Hmm.
give me a Constitution save at disadvantage.
Oh shit. All right.
6.
That's a 6.
Without disadvantage, it'd have been a 20 though.
Yeah.
So, Bjorn, for you will awaken the next morning. You vaguely, very vaguely, remember going out to the dance floor, getting a drink or two, a very nice female Goliath, and then something to do with Silver. You and the Goliath and Silver went somewhere, and then it's not there. And you have a massive headache, which being the type to get drunk all the time, you know to be a hangover.
Mhm.
And you find yourself in a it's not really a super fancy home or so. It's a little run down. Maybe you being a person who's been in towns before in urban settings, it gives you the air of somebody that's in like the lower class districts and things. And
Okay.
you're sleeping on you're laying down on a comfortable bed. You do not have your armor on.
Mm.
Armor and your helmet sort of over there.
But I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. It's off to the side. And
Okay.
you then sort of roll over to the side, and you see, with her back to you, mostly bareback, by the way, to you, is the female Goliath that you vaguely remember.
Hmm.
Knew it.
All right. Bjorn is going into very hard introspection mode to see if he can discern anything at all about this situation beyond what he already knows. Any recollection, any memory, any context clues beyond the obvious. He is on a silent information gathering mission from without moving, of course.
Like,
Right.
is there a tingling in my loins? No. Okay.
That is a thing
Can
to
I
check
feel my
for.
toes?
Like, which of my muscles, which ones ache the most?
I'll be fair, yeah. You know, you've probably not been in a situation like this in a long time, but I wager
No,
you
it's
might
been a
have
bit.
I wager you might have been in some situations like this before, though.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone who drinks as much as Bjorn, probably.
Yeah, it's not hard to discern that, yeah, this, lovely Goliath might have had a bit of fun with you.
An event has transpired.
Yes, indeed.
So Bjorn considers this, comes to this conclusion. A slow smile spreads over his face, and he just lays back in bed and just sort of like hands behind his head to rest. And just like, yeah, alright. Just gonna lay here and bask in this for a little while.
Fair enough.
Bjorn's not mad. What he remembers of the previous night tells him that he's good friends with this person.
Mm-hmm. Sort of
And he-
looking, sort of looking at her now. You see that, because you're sort of looking at her backside. In like the edges of her shoulder blades, she has a tattoo that almost looks like a small pair of wings.
Aww.
Interesting.
Aww.
That's actually kind of cute.
It's
Mental notes are being forged.
Mhm. But yeah, so you rest up there, and yeah, after a couple more moments, do you go back to sleep, or are you just resting there, like with your hands under your head?
I'm going back to sleep. I imagine the headache would make that difficult, but he's, like I said, he's basking in what has occurred. He's just
Right.
allowing himself to accept it all.
All right.
Yeah.
So after a bit, she sort of stirs a little bit, and without turning around, she's just you might want to return to your friends, Bjorn. Your armor's to the left over there.
Yes, I see that. It's been... I suppose I'll go, but it's been a wonderful time.
I agree.
Do you... That bar we were at the other night, you drink and dance there often? If I'm in town again, I should look for you there.
If you... How long do you think you and your friends will stay in town?
Oh, probably not terribly long. We have issues with one of our friends that needs to be resolved, but... Well, now that I've been here once, I don't imagine I'll let my friends keep me from coming back at some point. This is a wonderful town.
See that you don't.
Yes.
You are friends with Silver and Young, then?
Yes, I'd say so. We travel together, we fight together.
Bearing in mind that, Bjorn, you have no recollection that the two of them... You barely have recollection that Silver interacted with her, let alone Young. So the fact that she brings up the names like that implies that she knows them to you, easily.
Yeah, so... So you're familiar with them, then? You know the rest of my group?
Well, I don't know all of your friends, but I do know those two at least.
I see.
If you do come back to town, or if you spend in town more, don't look for me at the Sparkling Wishes. I only go there when business is slow.
So I would look for you.
Look for the glowing image of a black cat, and you're looking for the Idle Tomcat.
The Idle Tomcat. Very well.
You'll find me there.
I shall.
All this is said without her turning around, by the way.
Alright. Well, Bjorn will say his farewells then, I suppose, and make a mental note of the Idle Tomcat. Collect his things, and I am unfamiliar with this town. How would I get back to the Sparkling Wishes from here?
She just chuckles, and she's like, that would make sense. You've never been here before. Give me just a moment, okay?
Of course.
And then she sort of gets up, and she grabs the quilted blanket that she's had, and sort of wraps it more around herself a little bit, and we'll turn back to you, and she's, let me get a little bit more well dressed, and we'll make our way out there. I don't think you want me going through town in just a blanket, although some may like that. And then she will move further, grab some leathers and rudimentary clothing and things. Not a whole lot, mind you, but it is a little bit more. And she will eventually make her way out, and you see that she has just some leather and cloth pants, and she is wearing it's the same attire that Silver saw her in, but you don't know that part. It's kind of like a halter top or a tube top kind of a thing, but it's made out of the bands that you would use for training and things that's around her chest and things, but you can still see clear as day her stomach and her shoulders, which help to display, at the very least, the bear. Hides the wings, but it doesn't hide the bear.
So I know, so I can see the bear tattoo.
And then
I
she's
suppose.
come on, I'll lead the way. She sort of offers her hand out to you.
Alright, guess I'll take the hand and follow the lead.
Yep. she will make your way back to the Sparkling Wishes Inn. Meanwhile, at the Sparkling Wishes, you guys wake up. The mornings are a lot calmer compared to the nights in this place. So, aside from the fact that there's a whole nother half to the tavern that you guys can't get to right now because it's closed, you have a tavern that's pretty much like the taverns that you're used to get like a breakfast sort of a thing, pastries and other things. Maybe not something as good as the donuts that you have from Iban, but yeah, you got some food. Anybody doing anything in particular in the morning?
I can't think of anything for Locke to do other than just check the book again, see if anything's changed, and then go about his business.
You open up the book, and it's sort of recovered a little bit. It's not as ran, or sort of runny and as it was before. It's sort of recollected itself. It seems to be doing much better. It's still like faded. The coloring on it's a little off, as if it's still slightly damp. But other than that, it's looking a lot better. It's at least as legible as it was to you before. But there's nothing new written in it.
All right, I'll go and join the others then.
All right. So you guys come down. You get you some breakfast going, and about, we'll say, an hour or two after everybody's downstairs, Bjorn will make his way back, and he is led back into the Idle Tomcat, or not Idle Tomcat, but made his way back into the Sparkling Wishes, and you guys see that he's sort of being led into the doorways with Mudslide again. And she's wearing the same attire that you saw her wearing at the Idle Tomcat before, Silver.
Oh, Bjorn, there you are.
Good morning.
Where'd you run off to?
Oh, we just had a good night, that's all.
Good for you.
Right.
What?
Make for me make for me a con save. It's not
A concept.
Yeah, you Bjorn. It's not necessarily your drink's sort of faded a little bit. Your headache's sort of recovered, so it's not at full disadvantage anymore. But yeah, con save.
All right, here we go.
Right. Can I be like going along with like the disguise that I'm still wearing because I re-upped that before I came out? Can I just like be having like a glass of water that's been poured into a wine glass that I've cast minor illusion on to make it look like wine?
Fair enough.
All right. I'm just trying to make myself look as posh and unlock-like as possible.
So yeah, she you say you just had a nice night, and Mudslide's like, I'll say, it's pretty fun. She sort of slaps at your back, and you kind of it hurts a little, but you're able to keep standing forward without falling into the bar. But yeah, that's what you hear, and she's like, I'll see you guys later, okay?
Yes, we will hopefully be seeing each other again.
See that we do. She gives Bjorn a wink, and she makes her way outside.
Bjorn blushes a little bit.
Silver snickers. Just like.
Yep.
Locke's gonna chug the rest of his water.
So,
Bjorn is going to go get a morning ale and just feel very pleased with himself for a while.
So, we got anything else planned in this town, or are we just moving on?
Well, I mean, what is our next objective, anyway? We, oh, right, we were supposed to go see, shit, what was her face? The
Ulara.
Dwergar woman. Ulara, that was it.
Yeah.
Ah, right, over there. I guess we should start heading that way then?
I guess so. So long as there are no objections.
Oh, are we gonna stick to the road?
Probably be safer, frankly, fewer huge monsters that tend to keep away from where things are patrolled.
Sounds fair. We should be all fun.
Are you mocking me?
No. Okay, maybe a little.
Because I'm already mocking someone doing this. You don't need to add insult. You don't need to add insult to already insult.
Alright, so you guys get all your stuff together. You start to make your way out of Raidell, and you're on your way to Fummach, because it's the closest town to where Ulara is.
I'm on my way.
Outskirts of Fummach. Now, the question that I have for you guys is, if you want to keep to the road to go to Fummach, are you going to go south and head through Damapur, or are you going to go up and around and go through the summit and go down to Fummach?
I say we go through Damapur. Down that way. Then that way, once we get to Fummach and visit them, we can go straight back up to Yukiegi.
Right, and also, yeah, Locke is going to vote in favor of Damapur as well. Frankly, it just seems like a faster route, all things considered. And he has a personal reason for wanting to stop there.
Alright. So, this is going to be an interesting bit. My two players, who are my first two players, Sam and Brian, I want the two of you both to make a simple flat d20 roll.
Okay.
I will in just a moment.
Because you're counting days.
7.
Was it 8 days to go around and how many days to go the other way?
6.
So yeah, it's quicker the other way.
7 and a 15.
7 and a 15. Good to know. Alright. So,
What was that for?
We don't know.
That does not inspire confidence.
no, it doesn't. So,
Oh no. Who did we just kill?
oh, you didn't kill anybody, it's fine.
What did we just summon?
Lies?
So, you guys are following along the road to get to Damapur. And you... Let's see. What's my time looking at here? Yeah. You don't really have to worry about the like worries of nature and threats and other things, and as before, Bjorn, you're like, there's really not a whole lot of action when traveling the road in Damapur, in Gradiriel. Sort of keeping to the road. You might see a moment of like travelers passing by and like taverns, or not taverns, caravans and trade things going on, but aside from that, you don't see a whole lot of threats and monsters and other such things. Though if Bjorn is a little curious to go to sort of look around to see if he sees anything that might be at the least halfway as interesting, he can roll perception.
Alright. Here it comes.
Roll better this time.
I always try. Ha!
That's not better. Okay.
Not better at all.
So a 3. Net 1. 3. Nice. Okay.
Yep.
It's just boring. There's not a whole lot. You glad you got a bit of time with Mudslide. You're sort of riding on that a little bit, if you will. Though only for the first day or so. And then you make your way south a little bit, and then west, or east rather, east to Damapur. And upon reaching Damapur, you notice that it has the same sort of setup as Raidell did, though its walls are less stone and more wood. For a continent that doesn't have a whole lot of threats, several of the towns that you've been in so far have had walls, Bjorn. So, and how are you guys going to approach Damapur? As your disguised selves, or are you going in as yourselves, or what are you up to?
I mean, we're not wanted here, are we?
Nope. No, we helped a family of tieflings.
Yeah, we helped people here. Yeah.
Yeah, so I say
We have no reason to hide our faces here. We're you know, I'm just going in as Locke.
Okay.
I want Jello.
Young sort of puts up her hood a little bit more and tries to stealth her way and hide a little bit behind Cad. I'm going to roll a stealth with Young. Yay. Something she is good at. Usually. 14. And then Cad, are you disguising yourself any, or are you just going in as yourself?
No.
Okay. So, you wander in. And, yeah. You're just passing through town. It's probably mid-afternoon as you make it up this way. So, you don't really even have to stop. You can just sort of pass through both gates of town and make your way forward. But Locke said he had something he was going to look into here while he was here.
Not so much that he wanted to look into anything. He just had a personal reason for wanting to come this way. As we're passing through, Locke will just kind of cast his eyes about and look for anyone who might have a sort of resemblance, even vague, to Vanya.
Okay. Roll me perception.
Because, as I recall, this is the town she's from. No. That's a natural one.
That is a natural one with a 2. So you sort of look around and you look and you're immediately distracted by the fact that there is in and amongst the crowd, there is a person that totally doesn't seem to belong, though he appears to be human for the most part. So there's no, like, racial craziness about him. But he does have a small, we'll say, club of sorts around him. And you see a not quite platinum blonde, but blonde human in heavy armor. He's got a like a great sword to his back. He looks like he is some sort of mercenary or adventurer. And he does seem to be vaguely familiar to you, Locke.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I noticed something in a natural one?
You did, but not what you wanted, necessarily.
Okay. Can I, do I recall where I seem to remember this guy from?
Yeah. At the time you saw him, he was standing up high on a mountain, and he had wings at the time. He was the guy he was the guy that you saw with Vanya's party.
Oh. He was with Vanya's party. So that means he was also with my dad, right?
Yep.
Huh. Okay. If that's the case, Locke's gonna turn to the rest of the group. Do you mind holding on for just a second? I need to look into something real quick.
Yeah, sure. Need help?
No, it should be fine.
Okay. Should we just wait on the outside of town, or just...
Here's fine.
Okay.
Alright, now I'll head over towards, the individual.
Alright.
Does he notice my approach?
Oh, yeah. Unless you're trying to hide it.
Well, I mean, I'm not, like, making a big show of my approach. I'm just kind of heading towards him.
Yeah. And he's just, another one. It's always good to get another kid in the crowd. Come on, boy. Come on.
What? I came to you to ask you a question?
Question? Sure. What do you need?
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you travel with a group of individuals that includes a man named Frederick, right? Or maybe you did? Did?
He sort of looks to the crowd of kids that's in front of them. I may have. Yes.
And another individual named Vanya?
Perhaps. What's it mean to you?
Are there a lot of people around at the moment?
In the form of...
I will confess, I kind of zoned out a little bit when you were talking about the guy because I didn't realize that I actually recognized him. I just thought you were describing the total opposite of what I was looking for because of my natural one. So I wasn't actually paying attention super much until you said he looked familiar. I was like, oh, wait, hold on a second. This might be important.
He has a fan club around him, like little kids.
He has a fan club of kids. But
Okay.
That's the only group of people that are currently around him is a bunch of kids.
Are they paying a whole lot of attention to me?
Not to you, no. They're all facing him.
Okay. I'm gonna lower my voice a little bit. Well, Frederick's my father?
He sort of leans down to the kids and he's... Alright, little ones. Go home for now. I have another story for you later on, okay? And then the kids sort of, like, group and wander off.
Okay.
He sort of, just sort of looks you over a moment and he's... yeah. I could see it now that you bring it up.
Has he mentioned me by chance?
Not enough about you, not by name. He's told me, but not Vanya.
Do you happen to know where they are now?
Now that you're closer to him, Brian, or Locke, you notice that on his armor, he has a sort of the tabard cape thing going on, and because with your natural one, you didn't really notice a whole lot about him, other than he seemed vaguely familiar. But now that you're closer to him, you see that on his cloak, cape that's on the back of his armor, He's brandishing a image of a shield with a dragon in the with a shape of a dragon in the center.
Bahamut symbol, I'm taking it.
Mm-hmm. Whether Locke knows that symbol, yes.
Once I've noted that, well, you can call me Locke then. What's your name?
People call me Alex.
Alice
One second.
or Atlas?
Alex.
I heard Alex is what I heard.
Alex, okay. For some reason I heard Alice, so it's like, oh, he was bullied growing up.
All right. Uncle Nod. All right. Pleasure. Do you happen to know where Frederick and Vanya are right now?
Right now, they are spending time with in Vanya's home. It's right down that way. He sort of indicates for you a small home that's a little ways down the road.
All right.
And
Is there anyone else there?
He doesn't know that you're looking for him or that you're here, obviously.
Right. I mean, I wasn't really expecting them to be here. I just know that this is where Vanya's from, and my group and I are on our way to Fummach, and I voted we pass through here because, well, I learned about Vanya recently.
Right.
I wasn't expecting to actually be in this town.
Sometimes the fates want you to find who you're looking for.
Yeah.
Now,
Are they with anyone else, or is it just the two of them there?
Currently just the two of them. We're waiting for one of our friends to return.
All right. If that's the
And,
case, all right. Thanks for your time.
No problem.
And then Locke's gonna shuffle back over to the group. This might take a bit longer than I was expecting.
What happened?
My dad's in town.
Do you want to go see him? Wait, didn't we tell him to stay in Yukiegi?
Yeah, and that's what I want to talk to him about. And there's other stuff that's come up that I need to talk to him about that's very personal and kind of private. So
Do we need to drag him with us back to Yukiegi?
I'd rather not resort to that.
Sounds like there was...
Don't you have quite the motley crew,
Who's that?
Alex?
I didn't realize he followed me. I was like, what the?
At first he didn't, and then he saw the strange ensemble of people that you're with, and he was like, huh. So,
Like a
yeah,
ninja snuck up on me.
I can do that when I want to.
Um,
Though usually the armor rattles a bit. Shk, shk.
Ha! Should've gone with Mithril.
Mithril?
Yeah, makes it lighter.
Maybe I'll do that sometime.
right. Right, well, I mean to go and have a chat with him. Like I said,
You
it's
want
probably going to
one
go
of us?
towards kind of private things, so this might take a little while, so
I can keep him company.
I suppose. I'll gesture up at him. This is Alex. Apparently he's been traveling with my father for a while.
Mm.
So, I guess you can all interrogate him if you want. I don't know.
Well, where are you gonna be?
I pointed the house Alex directed me towards. Right over there.
Okay.
And then you will make your
And then
way
we'll
over
get
to the house, I assume.
Yep.
Alex will sort of bow when he's Cleric of Bahamut. Alex. Nice to meet you.
Cleric, not paladin. Okay, I need to adjust my notes.
Nice to meet you, Alex.
This is usually the time when you tell me your name.
If I want to, yes.
Well, fine. Yeah, Silver, as he turns to Bjorn, you see the Bahamut symbol on his tabard. And he also even just said Cleric of Bahamut, so I don't know if Silver knows that.
Just gonna, like, just kind of like, okay.
Does Silver know of the Bahamut deity?
I'm assuming she does, since she's a follower of, like, one of the gods from that pantheon, so it's like, okay.
Okay. Alright. So, yeah. Let that be for now.
Alright.
What is your immediate desire upon going into Vanya's house, Locke?
Well, Locke isn't just going to barge in, obviously. Instead, he's going to come up to the door, knock, and then start rapidly cycling through facial expressions as he internally struggles to figure out how he wants to present himself coming up. Because, like, okay, do I want to appear really stern and agitated? Do I want to appear sympathetic? Do I want to be unreadable? What the hell do I want? Ah! I shouldn't have knocked yet!
Okay. So, there's a brief pause, and then eventually someone opens the door. And, when it opens, you don't see either Frederick or Vanya, who you've seen them both before. And, the person that opens the door appears to be a human with, like, long brown hair, and he's Locke. What? And then it falters, and then the illusion just, and you see that it is in fact Frederick.
And that's kind of give him this sort of lopsided, sort of amused smirk. It's like, surprise.
What are you doing here?
We were passing through on our way to Fummach, and we heard you were in town.
Behind, younger voice, which you know from your dream to be Vanya's voice, is Alex.
Oh, does this happen a lot, does it?
He has a tendency to give away information even if we were wanting to hide it. Though I guess he didn't give it to somebody incredibly horrible this time. But sure. And then you see Vanya as she walks up. And she just gives you a nod.
Hello.
And Frederick's like, Vanya, this is Locke. Locke, Vanya. So he's the one you've been talking about all this time, right? Yeah, he is. I don't know how he found me here, but he's got some powerful friends, I suppose. Yeah, me too.
Honestly, this one was just blind luck.
Sometimes it happens that way.
So, can I come in?
Oh, right. And Vanya's like, duh. And she, like, Frederick sort of moves aside and you make your way on inside.
Alright. Alright.
Can Silver keep an eye on Locke, and then we'll actually move closer to the house once he goes inside?
Yeah,
At any
probably.
point.
I would wager that Alex might get into conversations with, if not Bjorn or Cad, maybe Oak, and get a bit more focused in those conversations. When Alex understands when a person doesn't want to talk to him, he doesn't particularly like it, but he doesn't force himself on people. At least not always, unless he has something specific he wants to get out. But he'll sort of let you be, and you can wander closer if you wish. Vanya's house does have windows, if you wanted to look on in from there.
No, she's gonna just sit and watch the house.
Oh, not even watch what's going on, just watch the house?
Yep.
Okay.
He said he wanted privacy, so.
Fair enough. Alrighty. So, it's to you, Locke. You have the floor.
Alright. Pretty much as soon as the door is closed, Locke is going to keep his promise, and he is going to turn and he is going to punch Frederick in the gut.
Okay. Roll an attack roll, I guess.
Is he even trying to dodge it?
Seeing as how he's not expecting it, yeah, kinda.
Alright, this is just a strength check for me, right? Because I'm unarmed. So it's like it's the same roll. I don't have proficiency in unarmed combat, so.
It would be, yeah, I guess it would be straight strength, because you're not proficient in combat in any weird way. So.
10.
You don't necessarily strike him as hard as you might have wanted, but you do get him in the gut and surprise him a bit, and he's... What? I suppose maybe I deserve that.
Yeah, you did.
There's something I should know more, said Vanya, immediately hand on one hip.
How much has he told you about me? About the general situation here?
Honestly, not really a damn thing, other than we're somehow connected in more ways than just the same
I knew
race.
there was a reason why I hate her.
Huh?
Nothing. I have my theories about. For some reason, I don't like her.
So,
Alright.
yeah. She sort of places a hand on her hip, and she's great. What else did he forget to tell me?
Well, I'm going to look back at Frederick. Mom clued me in on what's going on.
I figured that. That would be why you knew to at least look to see if we were here.
It's also why I punched you.
Yeah, that makes sense. He sort of rubs at his temple. Not his stomach, his temple.
Do you have anywhere we can sit down?
Oh, yeah. And there's a small set of tables that Vanya brings up and sort of lets you sit down.
Okay. So, walk me through your thought process here, Dad.
Let's
I
just
mean,
say
what exact... Go on.
I made the mistake of spending time in towns that I wasn't wanted other than by just one person. Twice.
I mean, that's not specifically what I was referring to. I mean, this specific outing.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
And he-
this departure from Yukiegi, you know. The one,
Right.
the thing that we all impressed on you we didn't want you to do again.
That was for this. And he sort of reaches into his pocket and places on the table between you all a rather ornate and incredibly well crafted amulet.
Does anything about it seem familiar or at all significant to me? Like, do I recognize any part of it at all?
No, not right offhand. It does have some incredibly powerful look. Well, at least it has a soft glow about it, though not super intense, especially right now because you have sunlight around you. And there are some magic runes and carvings around it.
And this is?
This is a artifact that I learned about that will allow me to always be found. If I wanted to run away, if I have this, those who don't want me to run can always find me.
Huh.
And then Vanya speaks up and she's like, basically the idea is he gets up to 3 people, 4 people, and does a small ritual with that amulet, and all 4 people will be able to once a day effectively scry and find whoever's holding the amulet.
Huh. And if no one's holding it?
Well, if no one is currently in possession of it, then the ritual is for naught. It doesn't do anything. But, and then this is Frederick, and my thought was, I get all of us back together again. Well, all of us together. And we do the small ritual. And then I wear the amulet. That way, you, Vanya, and Alessandra will all have the capability to find me wherever I am.
Locke's kind of gonna bury his face in his hands for a second. You really have a hard time grasping this whole family thing, don't you?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry. I know artifacts, I know treasure hunting, and I know my old habits. I can't very well stop being who I am just because I've made mistakes in the past. If Wanderlust strikes me and some legend of some artifact is known to me and Alessandra has a damn library, you think I'm not going to be able to find something that I want there?
Ultimately, I'm not getting on your back for going out and, treasure hunting. I'm doing something not all that dissimilar myself. So if I were to try and blame you for that, I would be a hypocrite, and I'm not. The part that's bothering me is the lack of transparency about it where I'm concerned. I mean, you know how bad things got the first time you went away, before I even, came into the world. And I know that circumstances are different, so that's not exactly likely to happen again. Yukiagi is far better than Sevenora could ever be, but... Is it just so much to ask to make sure that we're all in the know before you go running off on some crazy new adventure?
I can at least let you know.
I reach down and I pick up the amulet and shake it a little bit. Personally, I never would have even suggested something like this because I don't want to put my family on a damn leash. That's not how a proper family is supposed to work, is it?
I keep telling him that.
A proper family is supposed to, be able to just trust each other out the gate. And while I recognize and really appreciate the gesture this is supposed to represent, the fact that it's even necessary at all. I put it back down on the table.
Alright. Well, and then Vanya speaks up. Well, this place is not as much my home as much as Yukiegi may be for you. Especially if you have your mother there. I mean, I met her before, but at the time I didn't know of any kind of connection, and now I don't know what she would think of me, but I would like to see this family become something, and I'm on your side. Hell, I was willing to adventure with him just to make sure he didn't get into any real danger, even though he got better magic than I do. But
you know, the funny thing? The first time I ever met this man, and I kind of point at Frederick with a finger, he was in a cell with about as much meat on his bones as a dry twig. There's a certain amusing irony to me there about that.
Well, Vanya sort of looks over herself a little bit. Magic doesn't have anything with physical stature anyway. And Caberton has those damn magic collars, so he could easily be in a prison in Caberton and not be able to do a thing because his magic is stopped. So, but and then she sort of chuckles and she's like, "I guess not a lot of meat on the bones runs in the family, huh?"
I look down at myself and give her a pouty face.
Besides the fact, I know.
I'm gonna turn back to Frederick. Okay, well, you've got this. I gesture at the amulet. And I assume that's what you went on this little venture for? Nothing else?
Yes. Well, the hope was to finish up with what we had here, make our way back to Yukiegi, and I didn't know when you would return. I didn't really know what you had all going on. But
Yeah, we were kind of on a different continent there for a minute. It was weird.
different continent. What?
Yeah, word of advice. When you're on a boat, always tell the captain where you want to go before you're several weeks on the ocean.
Right, okay.
Yeah, kind of a massive fuck up on our part. But you mean to head straight back to Yukiegi when you're done here?
Yeah. It might... We're not entirely sure how long we're going to be staying here. Joy's making sure that her little brother's okay, and then she's supposed to return here, and then we'll make our way back to Yukiegi. But both her
Right.
and Alex aren't necessarily going to want to stay there long, unless Yukiegi's like some town that has a lot of combat and some sort of action. Small town.
Well, I
like
mean,
this,
my-
small town like
my
this makes
group-
them antsy.
Well, my group and I pretty much make our headquarters there, and, well, you know, I imagine you have at least an idea of our track record. Crazy shit just kind of tends to follow us.
Yeah. I also heard that there was another adventuring party that's up in Yukiegi too, so maybe Yukiegi will become a...
Oh yeah, we had to fight them. It was weird. They were being, like, manipulated or mind controlled or something. I don't know. Like, big old brawl in the streets. cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm being totally serious. Crazy shit just seems to follow me and my friends wherever we go. I mean, a giant cathedral just appeared out of nowhere in the middle of a frickin' snow-blasted wilderness, and we got attacked by a golem made of stained glass and a man made of worms wanting to figure out what the hell makes my magic tick. And that's the abridged version of that story, mind you.
Frederick sort of puts his finger up like he's about to say something with his mouth open. He's like, ah. And then he just thinks better of it and just keeps his mouth shut.
Yeah, that's a story I can tell you another time. But,
Well, I seem to recall there was a moment when you took a venture into the Feywild, right?
Yeah, that was a little trip we took. Why do you ask?
Remember how Feywild's time's different than ours?
I'm aware.
That's where Jill is. She's in the Feywild right now.
Mm.
And she's supposed to return here once she makes sure that her little brother is fine and doing well. And then she'll return here. This is actually the town a lot of those satyrs have decided to sort of hole up in for now. They were in Fummach for a brief bit, but then they sort of migrated their way over here.
Well,
Freaking Feywild's weird. There's a lot of cool magic stuff there. I did want to... I was tempted to do some treasure hunting that way, and then I got there and it was too damn bright. No. No shadows to hide in if it's all bright.
So tell me, does anyone in your group know any spells for long-distance communication?
Alex does. He's a cleric.
Okay. Then, do me one favor, alright?
Alright.
When your friend gets back and you're about to head out and start making your way back to Ukiegi, just let me or Mother know through him if you can, alright? Just keep us in the loop.
I think I can do that.
I would really appreciate it, and they would give me reason to not punch you again. Because, like I said a minute ago, I can't really get on your case for going out and going on adventures. I'm doing it all the time. I'm in the middle of one.
So does that
But
mean
I
you're
make
gonna
it a
tell me
habit.
about
But I
yours?
make it a habit to make sure Mother knows where I'm going. That I'm not just leaving people I care about high and dry. I make sure to clue them in before I go. And I also try to make sure that I have at least some quality time spent with them before I fly out the door. So if you could just try to meet that halfway. I can't ask for anything more from you than that.
Alright. I think that's fair.
Alright. And this, I'll hold up the amulet, is really cool. I don't want it to be used like a leash. I don't want it to have to come to that. But all the same, I'll set it down and put on a tiny smile. Nice find all the same. I don't know if I could have found something like that.
Yeah, we'll have to tell you the story. This is Vanya. We'll have to tell you the story about that one. Interesting.
Yeah, you will, but it'll have to wait another time. So, I'll meet Frederick's gaze again. Keep us in the loop. Make sure we actually have a chance to, spend time in one place.
And then Vanya's sort of stern looking at him, like repeating your gaze, and she's all of us.
Yeah, what she said.
And she'll sort of chuckle, and she's... So... Let's end this conversation with something a little bit less tense. And we're supposed to be getting to know each other, right? She sort of stands up.
I suppose.
I mean, I gotta know something about my little brother, right?
Piece that together, did you? Yeah, I guess. I was kind of thinking that sort of long-winded heart-to-heart would wait until everyone was assembled in Yukiegi, but if you want to get a start now, I won't complain.
I mean, the family thing is better when the whole family is together. I just was, I wanted to know what sort of, shall we say, skills my little brother had. That's all.
Skills that I have. Well, I am way better at sneaking than I really have any right to be.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of came with the territory of trying to keep my head down. I had to survive on my own in the wilderness for a few months one time, so I'm pretty good at that. I never really get much of a chance to prove it because I don't like doing it, but I'm a rather good liar when situations call for it.
Oh, me too. Especially when I pretend to be somebody else.
I'm gonna use an inside check on her right fucking now.
Roll insight.
That's a 21.
She's actually being fully transparent with you. She actually it appears to you that she does enjoy, if ever briefly, pretending to be somebody else.
Huh. Well, I'll have to keep my eye out for that then. And I know a fair few things about magic. Not as much as, Mom does. Most of my magic just kind of, I'll just throw my hand up and let some Eldritch Blast energy swirl around it. Just kind of comes to me. It's not a whole lot of thought goes into it.
Really?
If she does it, she's gonna do it.
She doesn't. So your magic just comes to you then. You don't really.
Well, I mean, it has a source. That source just isn't me.
Oh.
Yeah, warlock. I'll snap my fingers and let the energy dissipate.
So you have some magic, something or other, being or other that gives you your stuff then?
I have a friend who helps me along, yes. When I need help, at any rate.
She seems a little sad for a moment. She just... I thought we had more in common there for a second, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not...
What about you? What's your skill set?
Well... I have magic too, obviously. I'm not, warlock, per se, but, I know a few tricks, and, my magic just sort of came to me too. I don't really know where it came from, if that makes sense. And then she will, She like, you know how, like anime characters do like an energy ball thing?
Yeah, kinda.
She basically makes a ball of light in her hands and she's rolling her hands around like she's kneading it like dough.
Mm-hmm.
And the ball of light's constantly shifting colors.
Huh. What's that do?
Well, if I hit somebody with it, it will change what kind of energy it is.
Oh.
She is effectively fiddling around with the spell known as Chaos Bolt.
Ooh.
Which is a
I thought I was thinking Chromatic Orb, but alright.
It is extremely similar to Chromatic Orb. The only difference is with Chromatic Orb you choose what it becomes. Chaos Bolt is a dice roll to choose what it becomes.
That's random. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And she's this is one of my favorites, I suppose. I can also do, like, and she just waves her hands to the side, and a tiny little, via like minor illusion, a tiny little field mouse is just bouncing on the table for a minute.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, Jaylee likes that one a lot. When I use minor illusion to make animals and stuff. Dancing.
I would like to
lights.
use mage. I would like to use mage hand to poke her in the cheek.
Okay. It's not hard to do. So you poke her in the cheek, and you just poke her in the cheek once.
Yep, just once. Then I move the hand back.
He's like, what was? Huh?
Poke her on the tip of the nose.
Hey, what the heck?
You should see it when the dog's around. I dispel the hand.
You have a
Dog
dog?
never knows where not at present. There's a friend of mine somewhere way up north who has a pet direwolf named Hollis. And back when it was a whole story about how that happened. But when she and I were still traveling together, when Hollis was with us, routinely I would use the mage hand cantrip to just give that dog all the pets he could ever want. He never understood where or why he was getting affection, but he never complained.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I guess that's cool, though. I guess you don't know where your friend is right now, and they're not in town with you currently, but yeah.
I know I know that she's somewhere up north, and last I heard of her, I knew she was safe, so...
Well, she's not up north.
I assumed she was north because it looked snowy.
No, it was very, very dull. Like there was no colors.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's no colors.
Well, wherever she is, I know that she's in good hands. She's fine. She can take care of herself.
That last part I'll agree with. She can take care of herself.
Yeah.
She would take a great deal of exception to anyone implying otherwise.
Pretty much, yeah. So, for purposes, Vanya is actually class-wise, Vanya is a sorcerer.
I figured. Wild magic, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Alright.
Says the person who used 2 spells, so I rolled a d20 secretly. But, yeah. She's like,
Well,
I guess, yeah. My magic just sort of comes to me. People tell me it came from, like, the Feywild or something, but I've not yet found all the details. That Jilly's sort of looking into it every time she has an excuse to go into the Feywild, see if she can find anything. But,
alright.
um...
As it is.
So... Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Alright.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of that conversation, if you want to have anything more with that, is, that's pretty well done.
As it is, I was gonna have Locke sort of go, well, at any rate, as much as I would love to just sit here and chat and really get to know you for, like, hours on end, because I'm very curious, I do have people waiting for me out there, and we do have things we're supposed to be doing. So.
And if you don't... Vanya sort of speaks up and she's... If you don't mind me asking, what exactly are you doing?
We're heading to Fummach to meet with a contact and to pick up an order before we figure out what we're doing next in the bigger scheme of things we've gotten entangled in. It's very complicated and it would take like an hour to explain it all. And I don't even remember like 50% of it. It's that big of a web of mismatched things.
Well,
I can clue you in more detail when we have more time. When you were all back in Fummach, or not Fummach, Yuki Egi, with any luck, I'll be there too. We can sit down and just chat until our faces turn blue. But right now, my friends and I are on a bit of a mission, so I really shouldn't be delaying them any longer if I can help it.
all right.
That being said, I'm gonna look over at Vani with a bit more of a serious look. Seeing as you're part of the family, there is something you should be made aware of.
Okay.
My name isn't Locke. It's an alias I go by in public spaces or when dealing with people I don't necessarily trust with that part of my backstory, but my actual name is William. All I ask is that you don't use that in public spaces. If anyone from Seven Nora figured out where I was, I'd rather not invite that sort of hellfire down on my mother's head if I could help it. Or on yours, for that matter.
That makes sense. Maybe we had something more in common than I thought.
Well, we'll figure out in due time. I'll hold out a hand to shake. It's been a pleasure to meet you. I have to get to know you a lot better soon.
I hope to.
Alright. I'll give Frederick a sideways glance. And I'm holding you to what we said. Keep me up to speed.
Frederick smiles and a little bit, and he's just, I plan to. I don't want to ruin the family anymore.
I turned to Vanya. Hold him to it, would you? Punch him for me if he breaks his word on that.
Speaking of punching, I'm surprised Alessandra didn't want you to do it too. For her. You know, hit me twice. She tried to hit me with a frying pan. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
She threw a frying pan at me.
I mean, can you blame her?
Not really, he says, rubbing his temple.
That is the correct answer to that question. Ugh.
Alright.
I'll see you guys around.
You be careful.
I'm scared of like 90% of everything I come across. I'm always careful. And I'll use that as my cue to take my leave.
Yep. And then Silver will see Locke return from the house, and we can end the session there.
Alright, my business is wrapped up. Let's go.
Okay.
So, I will say, Sam do the This Has Been Shadows, and I will do the last part. Since Brian did the last time, earlier.
This has been Shadow of Gradiriel.
Join us next time as the group continues to Fummach and actually starts the actual main quest after being hit with plot after plot after plot of stuff.
Of character shit, yeah.
Yeah.
That said, there is actually something I'm probably going to ask Unray to do next time we see her.
Really?
A new enchanted item I'm going to want to request.
Oh, fun.